job technically, but in August they are out, and this facility here on Lake City Way where you see all these buses, well, it is going to close. And the bottom line, the state notice went out and said First Student, which serves Seattle Public Schools, will get rid of operations at facilities in Belltown and here in the Olympic Hills neighborhood. The layoffs come more than a year after the bus drivers strike that ended in a new agreement between the Teamsters Local 174 and First Student. The Teamsters, the union that represents the company's employees. The workforce cutbacks were announced in a warn notice that's issued by the state. Now, I went through that notice and it says the company will stop about 60% of operations to facilities, including the one where we're live this morning here in Lake City. It's anticipated that 111 employees will be laid off at these locations on August 17th. The Lake City Way facility will close, but Belltown will remain open, and the employees that are not being let go here in August at this Lake City facility will be transitioned over to the Belltown facility where they will continue to work according to that warn notice. We're live in Olympic Hills. Ranji Sinha, Kiro 7 News.
All right, thanks so much, Ranji. Well, Kiro 7 heard from SPS Superintendent Ben Schuldiner yesterday to learn about the district's priorities this summer. At the top of the list is closing the gap on an $87 million budget shortfall. Schuldiner telling us closing schools to balance the budget could be a possibility. The district will also look into campus security improvements, including new cameras, metal detectors, and bulletproof film on windows.
We're going to be looking at fencing. We're going to be looking certainly at some more cameras. You know, there's a lot of blind spots. We want that we can always see where our children are, but it's also things like single point of entry.
Schuldiner also says the district will look at ways to boost enrollment and graduation rates. The upriver fire continues burning east of Spokane. Last night, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office announced they believe they found someone dead inside a home in the evacuation zone. Deputies say they found what appears to be human remains inside a burned home. They were called to a house in that evacuation zone for a welfare check, and they believe the resident refused to leave. When they got to the house, it was already destroyed by the fire. Investigators are still working to identify those remains and determine a cause of death. At last check, the fire has burned about 220 acres with 15 homes destroyed. Tough to see. Well, we're checking weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Let's check in now with pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard. Nick, we've been talking about how dry it is, and really there is no rain in sight for our part of the state or out east.
And sometimes it's hard to remember that when it's outside. It's so nice and it's beautiful, and you get summertime weather and you're looking forward to it. I totally get that. But yes, especially east of the Cascades, the tan color here is moderate drought. That darker orange is severe drought. And then a lot of that yellow, much like what we're seeing west of the Cascades around like the Kitsap Peninsula, pushing into Clallam County. We do have abnormally dry weather so far for Seattle. We are above average for the month, but I don't think we're going to finish that way because I think we're not going to really get much more for June. Look at Olympia. I picked this camera because live there a few minutes ago, well, a few minutes ago, maybe more like a half hour at this point, there was a little bit of fog. I'm not seeing any anymore. And I don't know that we're going to find much more because if you look here, Bremerton's come up quite a bit. We were in the upper 40s. It's warmed up. Olympia at 45, Seattle at 58. I'm looking at temperatures to start, and they are a little cooler than yesterday. And then I look at how much wind do we have and how much moisture is in the air? Well, Chehalis at Olympia, you can't really hold much more moisture, especially in Chehalis. That's what humidity is. It just measures how much more moisture can the air handle. In Seattle, Bremerton, it can handle more. So when you get to the saturated level, that's when you start to see some fog. And if you look right now, Bremerton's warmed up with Seattle, Everett, because you have some wind. So that fog is out of the equation there. You still may see a little in Olympia, but I'm thinking you can see with 10-mile visibility everywhere, which is perfect. That means even if you can see past 10 miles when you're standing here and looking at the mountain, that's an aviation term. But if you look around Shelton, so far that's it, half a mile visibility. I don't think we're going to see it really anywhere else at this point. You could technically see a little between Olympia, Tumwater, the Black Hills area. That's it, though. And then, look, that goes away quickly if you do have it, and we get to the upper 70s. So let me take you area by area so we can figure out where you could touch 80 today, then get you ready for where you will see low clouds into the weekend. But for now, get that Kiro 7 weather app. That way you can keep track of everything no matter where you are, and you're always in the know on the go. Ooh, that rhymed. Coming up at 6:10, real-time traffic with Paola, Tristan, Aruda.
Yeah, you can see the beautiful sunshine out there. This is on I-5 right at 36th Street. So this is in Everett where you can see traffic definitely starting to pick up now on either side of the roadway, but especially headed south towards the Central Sound. So a pretty decent start, I would say, still at this time. I'm not following too much congestion up there, but we still have this one crash near Puyallup on Highway 161 northbound right at 43rd Street. And then we're starting to see, again, those typical backups in the South Sound, especially between Thompson Place and Nisqually. I said that we would soon start to see it, and here it is. Speeds in the area about 21 miles per hour. And then near Renton, we're also starting to see some slowdowns along 167. Also on 405 northbound, speeds in that area about 29 miles per hour. I do want to take a look at some of those drive times heading out of the South Sound, but I'll have that for you in 10 minutes.
Thanks, Paola. As we're looking ahead to another warm weekend, new warnings about contaminated beaches. The 6 King County spots you'll want to avoid.
I just started praying and just saying, like, please get me out of here.
The teen survivor of a Mount Si bear attack takes us through the terrifying ordeal. The exclusive story, only on Kiro 7, is up in less than 3 minutes.
Time to rally and celebrate Seattle Pride. Join us for one of the largest Pride celebrations in the country at the Seattle Pride Parade. It all happens Sunday, June 28th at 11 a.m. along 4th Avenue in downtown Seattle. Come early and get your spot. See the Seattle Pride Parade in person or stream live on any device at Kiro7.com for parade details, accessibility information, or to help support Seattle Pride's free events and year-round programs, visit Seattle Pride.
Introducing the Cup Caddy, the multi-function cup holder with an adjustable phone mount. It's durable, sturdy, and easily fits any cup holder. Use at the gym, at the beach, in a golf cart, or an RV.
Easy to install and keeps my phone within arm's reach.
Other mounts are shaky and unstable. The Cup Caddy is heavy duty.
And you can use it in cup holders everywhere. Genius.
Scan the code and get your Cup Caddy today.
Does anyone else have a secret collection of lost stuff under their car seat? If your seat gap is a black hole for your stuff like mine is, then this is for you. It's called the console catcher, and it completely blocks the gap. Plus, it took literally 2 seconds to install. You just pop it right in, no tools required. If you're tired of the seat gap swallowing your stuff, go to consolecatcher.tv now and get 30% off plus free shipping. Little fix, big difference. Get your console catcher today.
Are you having trouble cutting your vegetables? Dull knives turn simple prep into hard work. That's why you need the Rolling Edge, the innovative knife sharpener that brings professional precision into your kitchen. Just place, roll, and sharpen. No guessing, no grinding. Perfect angles every time. Restore razor-sharp performance in seconds. Scan now to buy the Rolling Edge and never use a dull knife again.
Are you tired of breathing stale, dusty air in your home, office, or car? Now you can breathe easy with...
I looked back while I was tumbling, and I look, and the bear's just chasing me down the whole way down.
Wow. Days after surviving a bear attack on Mount Si, a local teen is sharing every terrifying moment only with Kiro 7. He tells our Jack Bilyeu he still can't believe he made it off this mountain alive.
I really don't even know how I'm back here, to be honest.
It was supposed to be a fun day with friends to mark the end of the school year, but miles along the trails at Mount Si, Noli Pina found himself in a fight for survival.
First thing I thought of was, like, get big and just make loud noise, and it wasn't working.
Pina says the bear kept coming toward him and his friend, so they ran. Pina says they got separated and he fell down part of the mountain, rolling through the brush, losing his shoes and pants in the process. He eventually reached flat ground and saw the bear had followed him.
I just started praying and just saying, like, please get me out of here.
Pina says the bear scratched him twice on the leg and stayed near him for half an hour. He tried everything he could think of, alternating between playing dead and fighting.
My heart was just racing so fast, like just thinking I'm gonna die. And at one point I had a stick, and like I tried to hit it, and it like bit the stick and it grabbed it, but like I tried to pull it back, and it just grabbed it and then yanked it off, and I was just like, it's like it's over.
Eventually, he tried something else. That loud whistle worked and scared the bear off, so Pina, battered and bleeding, walked through the woods. He found a hiker who brought him to rescuers on ATVs. They drove him to the ambulance. Meanwhile, his friends were looking for him, and one sprained his ankle during the search.
I just want to shout out like all my friends and family and like the rescue crew just trying their best to find me.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife says black bear attacks are not common. Crews set out to find the bear, but later called off the search, claiming the terrain was too tough and the bear had likely moved on. Pina says there are no hard feelings, and he's glad the bear will survive.
I have nothing against nature, no animals, no nothing. It's just like, I mean, it just happened.
Jack Bilyeu, Kiro 7 News.
Just an incredible story. Pina says he and his friends did not antagonize the bear and did not see any cubs, though WDFW says there was a smaller bear spotted around the same time. The trails are reopening this morning at 8 a.m.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
Moved a little bit once, but he's fading.
New body camera video from Clark County shows the moments sheriff's deputies broke into a car to rescue a 2-year-old locked inside, strapped to a car seat. The sheriff's office says the child was in that car alone for about a half hour, and as you heard, they're not doing well, while his parents were grocery shopping. The outdoor temperature at the time, 92 degrees, and as you know, it gets much hotter inside the car. Deputies ultimately broke that window to rescue the child. His parents are now facing reckless endangerment charges, and Child Protective Services is also investigating. We are tracking severe weather across the country, starting with the first named storm of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, hitting the Gulf Coast Wednesday. Neighbors say the Chafuncta River in Louisiana rose almost 2 feet yesterday as Tropical Storm Arthur closed in. Arthur has been downgraded. The threat of flooding that's severe across the South, though, will stick through tomorrow.
The house right next door to me across the street, they couldn't get a vehicle out fast enough. I could see headlights in the water.
Right now, NOAA forecasts water levels as high as 26 feet, putting nearby homes at risk. A tornado ripped through at least 2 homes in Illinois, hurting 2 people. You can see the funnel still visible in the background in this video. It's part of a weather system that slammed the central part of the state hard yesterday, causing power outages and forcing families into storm shelters, and you can see a lot of damage out there. Here at home, we're tracking weather for you every 10 minutes as well as traffic. Let's get to Pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard in the Pinpoint Weather Center. Nick, we are lucky here. Things are beautiful.
The most we have to focus on, the 1 or 2 spots near like Lake Bay, Allen, Tahuya, Shelton, where you have a little fog, or the fact that it's just going to get hot again soon. We're sunny, we're dry today, same thing tomorrow, and really through the weekend. The only thing we're going to talk about is the cloud cover this weekend, which we are going to get to here in the 6:30 half hour. But into next week, I think we're back into the upper 80s and maybe even lower 90s. Look at that Tulalip Resort Casino camera. I don't have a cloud here. I don't have any clouds in the air around SEA either. This is where we're going. 78 today in Seattle, Shoreline 76, Woodinville 77, Tukwila probably right around 80 with Renton there at about 79. I think anywhere from 79 to 82 from Des Moines, Kent, and Covington into Puyallup, Auburn, the South Hill. Most of Snohomish County, bare minimum 73, but upwards of 77 to 78 around Granite Falls, Snohomish, Lake Stevens. Even Monroe could be around 79. Bothell, Arlington, Stanwood into Burlington, Mount Vernon, all in the 75 to 77 range. 76 in Mount Vernon, Bellingham, low 70s in Port Angeles, and at least in the upper 70s and low to mid 80s around Shelton, Olympia, and Centralia. Now, if you are going to the match tomorrow, it's going to be warmer. And I even think, since we're talking about 77 for a high today, 78, we're going to be in the low 70s already by lunch with a few more clouds, but it still does look sunny. So I want to take you hour by hour through tomorrow and especially Saturday, because on your Pinpoint 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view, we cool it off on Saturday because you're going to have a lot of clouds for a lot of the day, but not the afternoon. And then the first day of summer, also Father's Day, low 80s. And then, yes, look at the heat for Monday and Tuesday. We're going to try to talk about where we could hit 90 coming up as well. But just about 6:20, let's get a check on real-time traffic. Here's Paola Tristan Aruda.
Yeah, right now I'm taking a live look at 405 right at Northeast 70th Place. As a reminder, in Kirkland, there is some road work construction happening right near Northeast 80th Street, so something to keep in mind for those of you heading out on 405 right now. And right now, also still keeping an eye on that crash that's just south of Puyallup. This is right here on Highway 161 northbound, right at 43rd Avenue. It still appears to be impacting the roads, but I'll let you know once that starts to clear. Right now, your commute, though, heading out from the north sound is looking pretty good. I'm really not following too many issues. A little bit of a slowdown along 522, but not really on I-5 or 405 quite yet. A little bit on 99 as well. And then you do start to see some heading in from the south sound. Here's a check on some of those drive times. Tacoma to Seattle, past an hour, and Puyallup to Renton, almost at 15 minutes on 167. If you have to head out, you can get traffic updates on the Carver 7 News app or listen live to Car News Radio.
Thanks, Paola. Washington state ferry workers are speaking out, saying World Cup schedules are leaving them overworked and underpaid. The changes they're asking for. For the first time ever, 3 American women will officiate a World Cup match. Hear from the lead ref next.
Introducing the Cup Caddy, the multi-function cup holder with an adjustable phone mount. It's durable, sturdy, and easily fits any cup holder. Use at the gym, at the beach, in a golf cart, or an RV.
Easy to install and keeps my phone within arm's reach.
Other mounts are shaky and unstable. The Cup Caddy is heavy duty.
And you can use it in cup holders everywhere. Genius.
Scan the code and get your Cup Caddy today.
Does anyone else have a secret collection of lost stuff under their car seat? If your seat gap is a black hole for your stuff like mine is, then this is for you. It's called the